So we're going to look at a basic escape or a shrimping escape from the being mounted. Okay, so here we are in this position. I'm going to go for a basic mount. John's going to do a mount to me here. So a mount, this is him on top, his knees are squeezed, right? And you know, he can do all kinds of things. He can throw a punt. He can do all kinds of things. He could throw punches. He could do like key locks, arm bars, or you know, all kinds of things. If I turn around, he can choke me and everything of the sort. So what we're going to look at is the basic escape principles of a shrimp, which is probably one of the easiest, one of the most effective ways to get out of a mount position. Okay, so from here, I always have a few principles that I apply to this. Like I'm flat right here, which means I mean I can rest, but I'm a dead weight and I have a lot of friction on the ground. So I'm going to try to tuck my hip in and round out. And by doing that, I make myself a little more of an unstable base. See what I can do to him here? Now, my keys is I want to make sure he's not punching me, even if we're not doing full fighting. If we're just doing submission wrestling, I still try to keep that in mind. I want to keep him as close to me as possible because it gives me a lot of basic options. So one of the components that I do is I try to get him as close to me as possible, right? By hugging onto him, or by using my thigh to bump him, right? To bump him up, and then I can get a nice grip onto him. Now from here, I can bring my knees into my chest, so it just makes it really, really complicated. If John tries to sit up, I'm just bearing down on him. I'm giving him a lot of weight, and his strikes won't be as effective. I'm still in a horrible position, but it's a lot better for me to be here than to be flattened out like this, where if you struck me, my head's against the ground, or if you threw a good elbow or something like that, or my pin, or if he's pinning me in general, I'm really stuck. So as opposed to all of that, I'm up in this position. Now, how do I get there? The best thing I think is to use your thigh and use your hip. So I can just bump forward, and hopefully he falls forward. But sometimes I don't fall for that. Or I could use my thigh, bump, and bump forward. See, I'm not lifting up, and I'm not trying to knee him. That's just not going to do anything. I can't hit him with my knee. But if I can use my arms, and then I can get him to that position, and then I can get into this hug. It helps out a little bit. And this hug is good because every time he sits up, right, I make it hard for him. And look, I could just use my feet and pull back down. See what that did? That actually straightened out his leg a little bit. Now, I'm not out of this, but I got that little bit of space. Okay. So while that's happening, while he's here, and he comes up, he's doing his thing, right? He's coming up. I'm bumping him down. Now, see that? I bump him, and that gives me space here. And as I bump him, I'm turning to the side. I'm turning to the side. And the reason why I'm turning to the side is so I can get my arm inside. See, I'm hugging him here. My arm is here. And I'm close to him. Because if I use both my hands to just shrimp out, that's okay. But he can punch me. So I'm just concerned that I can at least keep this and this. And so once I have this here, I can slide that leg in. And I can slide the leg in. And maybe at least I'm halfway out. Fully out is getting the other leg out. So here I am. Let's scoot down. Okay, so he's sitting up. He's going to do whatever he wants to do. I'm bumping him down first. Now from here, I want to get a little space. So see that? I scooted and gave myself some room. And now I'm getting my arm in here. And as I scooted, I'm turning to the side. So once that I'm pushing and sliding my leg along the floor. Because if I come too high, it's not going to happen. See that? Where his foot is, there's a little bit of an angle here. That can slide in, and that's the first step. Right, the next is to pull this elbow in. And then I can go to the other side. He's not fighting me now, but it's to get out of that. But that's the first stage of it. Okay, so, right, bump in, boom, boom, I got my spot. Slide it through. Then slide it through the other spot, and I can get my guard. So slide one, slide the other, but the most important is to get that first slide in there. Once you get that, it's a little bit easier.